30 years ago, the political right began a methodical and well-funded campaign to promote right-wing judges and policies using the symbol of the Constitution. They equated our heritage with conservative ideology and our fundamental freedoms with the right-wing agenda. And it worked. For too long, progressives were on the defensive about how the Constitution should be interpreted. In 2001, however, a group of progressive students, professors, and lawyers across the nation came together to set the record straight. We wanted to show that the right wing doesn't represent the original intent of our Constitution, but a distorted interpretation. The American Constitution Society brought top legal minds together to build a network that would challenge conservative dominance of the courts and public debate. Now progressives are not only fully engaged in the battle of ideas, but we're using influential leaders and members to shape the future. Right-wing activists are seeking to undo many of our country's long-standing progressive laws. ACS is uniquely positioned with the intellectual capital to educate lawmakers and the public. We're activating our network to beat back the challenges to the Voting Rights Act, the Affordable Care Act, and other landmark laws, measures, or policies that have and will move our nation to a better future for all Americans. We're proud that ACS is now in the forefront of shaping the national debate about fundamental legal and policy issues and advancing a vision of the law as a force to improve the lives of all people. We're strengthening our pipeline of current and future progressive legal and constitutional experts, training them to get involved as well as helping them become judges and future leaders. The courts matter. ACS understands that our founders created a system with 3 co-equal branches of government. We believe that our nation's courts have incredible amounts of power. While most other progressive organizations seek to influence the executive or legislative branches, we are on the vanguard, working with and within the judiciary. Also, our vast nationwide network of influential progressive lawyers, judges, scholars, and law students in many ways defines ACS. We have a national presence thanks to our politically and academically engaged leaders from over 200 lawyer and student chapters across the country. These current and future leaders exert influence because of the strength of their ideas and their connection to the ACS network. No other progressive legal organization has the infrastructure in cities and law schools that ACS has. As a nonpartisan organization, ACS provides decision makers with trusted information and analysis. Well, we're committed to a more progressive future for our country. We produce materials that stand up to careful scrutiny and inquiry. The quality of our people and work products sets ACS apart from other organizations, with the best legal minds of our time adding value to every project they undertake. We generate issue briefs and policy papers that attract attention and respect from policymakers. We host programs that bring together experts on all sides of key issues to debate the hot topics of the day. Our influential members give us unique and effective access to key legislative leaders, executive branch representatives, and state leaders, as well as members of the judicial branch, that make the ACS brand an increasingly recognized and respected one in policy circles across the nation. When measuring our success, we're looking at the impact that ACS is having when it comes to our ability to shape debate, build networks, and make a difference. But rather than focus simply on output, like how many Hill meetings we hold, events we sponsor, and news clips we generate, we are focused on outcomes. Are we achieving what we want? Are we having real impact? On Capitol Hill and within the administration, for example, we're looking for evidence that we've helped influence decisions and actions. In late 2011, for example, Congress debated a proposed balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. An ACS issue brief on the topic received great attention among members, with one House Democratic leader even attaching it to a Dear Colleague letter he sent to all of his colleagues. When the vote on the amendment failed, it was pretty clear that ACS's handiwork played a role in the results. We've been called the antidote to the right-wing Federalist Society, but we're so much more than that. We aren't necessarily the liberal or progressive alternative, but rather a leading organization representing the progressive interpretation of constitutional law in its own right. We play a key role as an umbrella organization dealing with a wide range of issues, thanks to our diverse membership. Our professionals in academia, politics, law, and elsewhere position us uniquely to bring progressive forces together and set the debate on mainstream issues ranging from campaign finance to healthcare, from immigration to the future of the judiciary. We take a principled approach that doesn't pick and choose which parts of the Constitution to follow, but instead takes the document as a whole living entity that permits progress for a society ever more free. ACS continues to enhance its influence in key policy-making circles in our nation's capital and across the country. We're growing our pipeline of current and future progressive legal and constitutional experts through clerkships, judgeships, and roles as influential scholars, and they're demonstrating their influence. The Obama transition team relied on ACS experts and members to move us away from the regressive policies of the past. The administration has consulted with members throughout our network to reinvigorate the Civil Rights Division at the Department of Justice and to help redirect the Office of Legal Counsel. ACS has also played a pivotal role in getting the administration to recognize the importance of judicial nominations. Filling judgeships is perhaps the single most effective way for presidents to cement their legacies. We've tirelessly encouraged the administration to recognize the importance of the issue and for Congress to fight obstructionism and vote up or down on all nominees. And we are making progress. We're significantly underfunded when compared with many groups on the right. Because of this imbalance, we strive to be incredible stewards with our limited resources. In the past year, we began responding even more to the needs of our network, both the lawyer and student chapters nationwide. We conducted an organization-wide analysis of our relationship with our network, reinforcing that it is the essence of ACS. We're pumping more resources into our chapters by expanding our staff and redoubling our efforts to create the best environment for our members. But in this difficult time for nonprofits, the financial pie is not expanding. Fortunately, our talented staff continues to perform admirably, producing excellent programs and publications, strategically spreading our message via traditional and new media, and reaching out to key audiences and allies on Capitol Hill and elsewhere. But with dwindling resources and growing demands, we need your help. One of our ongoing priority issues is strengthening our pipeline of current and future progressive constitutional experts and leaders. Additional resources will help us deepen the pipeline through new programs that facilitate greater mentoring of students to improve their job prospects. And we'd like to provide greater assistance to help young lawyers onto the path of becoming a judge. Tomorrow's state attorneys general, governors, and state court judges are practicing law or studying it in schools today. And those same future leaders are looking for mentors to shape their legal careers. We need to grow and strengthen our presence in every city and on every campus today to prepare for tomorrow. And particularly helpful to this effort would be an ACS webmaster who could optimize our use of social media and enhance our outreach to the many lawyers and students for whom social media is a way of life. The conservative movement has its roots deep, not only in Washington, D.C., but also in state capitals throughout the country. We want to be able to say the same about ACS. With additional resources, we could be even more deeply ingrained in the states with our research and engagement. We could more closely monitor immigration laws, judicial selection processes, and efforts on indigent defense. Part of that process would entail growing our lawyer chapters even more to engage with their state legislatures and ensure that they hear ACS's views. We also want to make sure our law school chapters have the resources they need to attract the best speakers and sponsor the most worthwhile intellectual and policy debates and discussions.